The obvious first question is, David Dixon is a sharpshooter now. Can you just talk about his performance, especially down the stretch with those big blocks and that three?
Well, let's go defense first, right? He's always, since day one, upon coming here to Duquesne, Dave's been a staple on the defensive end with his rim protection, his ability to step out and guard smaller guards. He brings a lot of versatility to us on defense, and you know, if it wasn't for some of the foul trouble, I think he would get more blocks. But I'm just proud that he battled through. He had to play some heavier minutes for us tonight, probably more than he's played all season at 25. He plays so hard, you know, for a 4-minute stretch. Dave is running. We asking him to set screens. He's blocking shots. He gets tired, right, and rightfully so, because he's giving it everything he got. And then as far as sharpshooter goes, the guy has unbelievable confidence in himself. You know, he's capable of making a three. It's not something that's new. Now, he's not the go-to guy when it comes to threes, but they swung it to him. He stepped up and he made the shot, and it's no different than he's done in practice before. I just love Dave at the end of games because he has a confidence and engagementship to him that he just believes that he can go make the play, and that's why he stepped in and made that three. And I'm excited for him now. If he wants to shoot more, he's got to get more reps up in practice.
Coach, what were your thoughts when he took that charge with like 2.5 minutes left in overtime, already sitting on 4 fouls?
You know, I left him in there to go play. You know, my assistant coaches came to me. Hey, Jay, Sean, and Dave, they both got 4 fouls, and I said, listen, we're here to win a basketball game, and we're playing. Right? I thought those guys were playing well at the moment, and it's just a confidence thing. He was sure on the play. If he hesitates for any second, he doesn't get that call. But he stepped in there, took a big charge. Yeah, just time after time, Dave was around, just getting big plays done for us on the defense end.
Coach, coming off the career high 29 points against Davidson, Sean Corbett went 0-8 from the field, but he played the most minutes for you. Just talk about why you never went away from him in the second half and overtime, even though he was struggling offensively.
Yeah, I thought Jay Sean, even with the struggles, there were shots he could make, and he just pulls gravity, right? He gets downhill. He attracts defenders through his penetration. So my belief is he's going to get us some shots. I thought he defended well. I thought he pushed the ball on the break, so we were running the floor. He was out there, yes, for a long time, but he was out there for a lot of good stretches where we were doing well. Hey, the shots weren't falling for him. It is what it is. I left Matushin there for a long time too, and you know there were shots I had to beg him to take tonight, and you know I just believe in those guys. And listen, you're going to miss, you're going to have your rough days. The only way to get through it is to shoot through it at times. So if you're taking good shots and we're still playing good basketball and our energy is good, then I don't mind it, you know. Sometimes I do have to sit you down just to recalibrate you, but I thought, you know, Jay Sean, he stepped up too, and we lost Jakob. We lost Jakob with that injury, so he did have to play some heavier minutes because we were a little thin at the 4-man position.
You said that Dave Dixon's not the go-to guy, but Trey Dinkins seems to be filling that spot. Do you see a similarity starting to come together with maybe he fills that day spot last year? Maybe Cam Crawford can somehow, or somebody else. You see something? Are you trying to coax that type of scenario?
I think just in recruiting Trey, understanding who he was, right? Able to make plays. He's a good passer, plays well in the ball screen. Was one of the best ball screen guards in the country last year, coming from Canisius. So, and then he shoots the ball in. What we've been encouraging him to do is take more of his catch and shoot options, and I think that's where the volume came in tonight. He really lifted those and took those shots instead of shot faking. I've been encouraging him, even if they're deep, because he has good range on his jump shot, to make sure that you take those looks. It makes him more dangerous. as far as the comparison, you know, I like those two guards, our Hall of Fame guards, to be on their own, right? They did what they had to do. I'm sure everyone wants to kind of find that remembrance of, or that example or similarity of our guards. Do they match up to those two guards of last year? Well, we're just different. We got a committee of guards. I think we bring some different things to the table with Kareem Rozier, Cameron Crawford, and Trey Dinkins. I just want to allow them to be themselves. Those two guys, Trey Clark and Dede, they were exceptional last year. I just want our guards to step into their own legacy.
You know, kind of talking a little bit about Trey, you mentioned Jay Sean going from, you know, kind of a good outing on Saturday to maybe a little bit more of a rough one, but Trey was kind of in the opposite direction. What did he kind of show you being able to go from being scoreless on Saturday to setting a season high tonight?
Yeah, they kind of flipped the script, right? Both of them. It'd be great to get them both on track at the same time, wouldn't it? But just staying with it, you know, just staying with it. I thought Saturday he got a little disgruntled, right? He missed some shots, the flow wasn't coming to him. And I called him out on it face to face. You can ask him, and I just told him, listen, that's not, if you're not communicating, talking, and you're letting things bother you, you're an average basketball player. I said, now you can choose to be average, but we're looking for great. So you got to flip this thing around. And I think he responded to the challenge. He understood that effort on Saturday wasn't good enough. And tonight, I just thought he was locked in. He was aggressive. He found some shots. Our guys found him, and he's a good shooter. He's capable of doing that. He's very capable of doing that. So, and he shoots the ball well off the bounce.
Coach, you held Rasheem Fleming. You really limited Rasheem Fleming and Xavier Brown in the first half, but in the
I was gonna say, did I?
But in the second half, I mean, Rasheem Fleming had 15 points in the second half, and I don't know the number for Xavier. But what was the difference between the first half and the second half on those guys defensively?
Defensively, you know, I thought in the first half our team energy from the help position, right? Those two are really good. They got good players all over the floor. And if you put yourself in just isolated one-on-one situations, they're going to beat you time after time. But I thought in the first half, we made them see bodies, right? We caused some turnovers, we took away some driving lanes. In the second half, we didn't do quite as good a job of that, and we allowed transition, right? I thought we allowed transition, but baskets to happen. There was a period where I thought we got a little bit gassed, right? We exploded and got out to a big lead, and it was like a total flip. They caught the momentum where we weren't getting back strong, and they took advantage of that. But those two are good players. They've been successful in majority of their games this season. But I thought, you know, we can do better. But overall, I thought it was a solid effort against those two.
I have a quick follow-up, if you guys don't mind. How much do you think Jakob's absence in the second half had to do with some of those issues?
Yeah, you know, our bench got shorter. Jakob is one of our better defenders. He's able to guard multiple positions. He's a big body. He's just someone that's tough to score around. So not having him on the floor, we lost some length. And we lost one of our guys that we call it fix, right? Whenever there's a mistake on the floor or happens, he's one of the players that his reaction, his anticipation, he always is there to fix problems, and we lost that. We lost that with him going down. So you can point to that a little bit maybe for the defensive effort. I never want to make excuses because I'm high on all our guys, and I hold them to a certain standard, and we should still be better than that. But I thought the extension of minutes hurt us too.
Coach, this is back-to-back games now, not having Jakob for the stretch run of the game. How do you keep the defensive intensity the same when he's not available late in those games?
You know, it's just the game, right? We gotta find guys to step up. I think our scheme, our strategy, will probably remain similar and the same, but I do think we're capable, right? I think we're capable of making some of those plays. I may have to do a little bit a better job of keeping guys fresh I think the extended minutes hurt us, right? We just didn't get back, and they were running downhill on us. And it feels good when you get a couple layups, right? I thought they were tired for a moment too, and then all of a sudden they just had great energy, and it's just a role reversal. But we'll have to figure some things out. We just got to get a little bit sharper. We got to fine tune some things, but really it's going to come down to our individual effort, as it always does. You know, we got to be sharp with our individual effort, and we got to have high level communication.
I know you mentioned that the differences between this year's guards and last year's guards, but one thing that has been consistent so far is the defending the opposing team's leading scorers. Sebastian Thomas, Connor Kuchera, and now Eric Reynolds, 1 of 9 tonight. Are you happy with how the perimeter defense has been so far with some of the new guards you brought in along with Kareem?
Yeah, I think you know, for this team there was a challenge. We were good defensively last year, and I always go back because when I think about last year, I always have to remember that was a 2-year stretch, right? I remember those guys in their first season, they made a lot of mistakes defensively, but they played hard. But there was a maturation. We came in year 2 and they were even better. And I think our guys have taken a huge jump. The young men that we've recruited to come here in this season, the Cam Crawford, the Trey Dinkins, right? We've asked them to step into roles where they have to be the best perimeter, and they've accepted the challenge, right? They've accepted the challenge of guarding tough opponents, the other team's guards, but also just playing at a certain standard that we all try to hold ourselves to, which is give everything that we have on the defensive end. And I'm glad those guys continue to pour into that end, and I think they're getting excited about matchups. They're getting excited about stops, right? They believe in themselves even more too.
Just 3 games in league play. Once St. Louis wins tonight against St. Bonaventure, just one team left without a loss. And everyone has taken a loss. Has it make it easier as a coach where you can tell your players that this league is genuinely winnable and that you can achieve something after the disappointing non-con results?
Yeah, I don't think about the disappointment. But yeah, I think this league is highly competitive from top to bottom. I don't think I haven't been in the league forever, but I've watched a lot of basketball. I watched the A-10 even when I was growing up. You have to come to play every night, right? There's always, even teams that are struggling, right? You go into someone's home court and they may be struggling, but you look over there and they got an all-league guard on their team and a big man who can cause you some issues. So you just have to be ready to play, you know, and there's no, it's like there's no rest, right? You play a game and you got to get geared up for your next opponent. Like this game matters tonight, right? It feels good to celebrate it, but we're gonna have to leave it. We're gonna have to leave it be. I'm gonna have to get to Dave and tell him, listen, that 3 you made was days ago. We got to come back because we have to get geared up and ready to go. And that's just the depth of the A-10, the toughness of the league from top to bottom. Who's our next opponent? George Washington.
Yep.
Right. Look, we gotta go there. They just beat Dayton the other day. I don't know what their result was tonight.
Beat Rhode Island.
They just beat Rhode Island. Like, listen, they're going to be ready to protect their home, and we can't be stuck in the past. But I love that about the league, man. It's highly competitive, and I think it's exciting. It's fun.
Drew, Kareem came into tonight 15th in the nation in assists to turnover and goes 7 assists against 0 turnovers tonight. Just how impressed are you by not just the maturity with leadership, but the maturity by decisions and seeing that rub off on your guys?
Yeah, we talk a lot about ball movement, and he's been a leading figure in that role, right? He's always taking great care of the ball. I think his playmaking is taking a jump. You know, he's starting to see the floor even better. He's getting better in ball screens. So I'm excited about Kareem, how he's played. I thought there was some struggles early in non-conference play, but I think he's coming into his own. He's responded to his role of coming off the bench. He hasn't flinched. He's playing good basketball right now. He struggled the other day on Saturday too. He has some open looks, but he's confident. He believes in our program. He believes in this group, and He just tries. He's just a competitor, man, and I think that's why he takes such good care of the basketball. He knows that you have to value the basketball, and his fight, his competitiveness will not allow him to just turn it over without any reason.
Speaking of responding, coming off the bench, you gotten 13 points in the last 2 games from Maximus Edwards, and his shot has struggled under non-con. But what have you seen from him lately that's giving you the confidence to continue going to him, even when you have other options?
I think, like, what I see is some of the things you guys don't get to see, right? Now, I made a change in the lineup, right? I thought there was something that was needed for our team to take another step. A lot of guys could pack it in after I do that, right? Max has continued to fight. He wasn't playing well at the time, but he's building, right? And I know he wants to play even better than he did tonight. I know he wants to play more, and that's the struggle, because he doesn't even probably recognize that what he did tonight helped us win, right? What he did Saturday in Davidson gave us a chance to win. So he's building, and I just have to get him to a point where he's playing more consistent basketball, more confident basketball. And as long as he continues to accept that, all right, I played well tonight, let me see what I can do next time and build on it. And I played well tonight, let me go and have another good week of practice and build on it. If he continues to do that, Max is going to be perfectly fine. We'll see him even return to form, I believe, which is what, 12.6 rebounds, possibly. But I think the main thing is that he's playing free and confident. Because right now I think he's a little bit on edge, right? I've taken him out at times. He's a little bit on edge, but I'm excited about how he's continuing to progress. I think he's got good basketball ahead of him.
Coach, I was wondering if you could give us injury updates on both Jakob and Jake, if you have them.
What do you want me to do? You asking the wrong guy.
I'm not sure you have to go.
I don't know where Jakob is right now. Hopefully it's mild. I haven't had a chance to sit down with our athletic trainers, but you know, good news is we got some time. We got some time off for him to get strong, to get back healthy. But at the end of the day, we're always going to make sure we put our guys in the best situation, right? Jakob's going to be tough to keep off the court, right? I knew he wasn't going to be able to play in the Davidson game, but this guy, he warmed up. He was like, Coach, I can do it. And I'm like, yeah, you just don't have it today. And he realized that he wasn't moving the way he could, so he had to shut it down. But he's competitive. He wants to be out there. So I know he's going to hit treatment. He's going to hit the training room and get himself ready to play. And Jake is he's coming along. We're getting good updates. So there's a possibility that we may see him next game or in the near future or soon.
Thank you, Coach.